Sunday morning, May 25th, 2025. The streets of Charlotte have become more busier. And for some, parking has become a little hard to come by, but not impossible. And so for many, Charlotte and Race Week remains the place to be, if you came in time for tickets, that is, not just a place to stay. For fans in passing, many have said the Coke 600 is an all-around fun atmosphere with things to do. And boy, was there a lot to do here. With practice and qualifying long recorded in the books, with some last-minute fine-tuning within rule parameters, team mechanics and technicians remain hard at work. There are tools and cutting-edge technology at their disposal, ready to bring out more of the best in their cars to prepare them for the biggest test. So it begs the question for each of them, just how well will their cars do? With the cars passing inspection, now it's just a matter of knowing what it can do. But most importantly, what can their driver do with it? In these cases, they'll just have to roll the dice to see if they're feeling lucky. What has never changed, for as long as they have been doing it, NASCAR at Charlotte has invited the brave men and women who serve our country to be honored for their service on Memorial Day weekend. While honoring those who made ultimate sacrifices to defend America's freedom and liberties, so that every man and woman and child can live a peaceful life. The 600 became more than a race. It became a land for heroes of soldiers and first responders to walk among and shake hands with those who they protected and served all around. Some receiving thanks for their service, and some sharing that if it wasn't for their service, peace would not have been possible. But the 600 is not the only NASCAR race that does this. With pre-race ceremonies over with, the Grand Marshal began giving the command for the drivers to start their engines. While the names and faces are different this time, each driver's job remains the same: win the race. From there, they began their formation of the rolling start of the race by following the pace car like a herd of buffalo, following a cowboy. With the fans on their feet and the television crew giving undivided attention while hitting the record button, the green flag waved and the Coke 600 was underway. Like most NASCAR races, the Coke 600 was about as long as a marathon, 400 laps in length. And Since the dawn of stage racing in 2017, NASCAR has made it a norm where championship points are awarded for whoever crosses the finish line in certain stints of the race. In each so-called stage race, not just for the 600, but for every race on the NASCAR circuit, all for the purpose of upping the wow factor of thrills and excitement, while giving competitors an equal chance to prove they are the best of the best. Even before the turn of the century, NASCAR has always changed the game of what competitive racing looks like, especially to make an effort to fill as many grandstands as possible, because the people that come to the races help keep the business of American stock car racing going, not just in TV ratings. With stage racing, performance does not always convert to victory. Strategy tends to sneak its way into the picture in some forms, where sometimes the best car is the finisher on the outside looking in. Whether from oppositional tactics, poor pit strategies, or just sheer bad luck from reasons beyond their control while feeling duped from it. For some who watch, stage racing to them pays homage to watching heat races at their local stock car tracks, while others find it not their bottle of beer to drink. But they'll watch just for the heck of it, because it's NASCAR. For every hour, some cars feel their limits. Not all have the longevity to continue. Not all of them can finish on the lead lap. Mainly for those teams that are underfunded and small, who can only afford to bring what they got in terms of tires, the age of the car and equipment used, including the age of the engines that they installed. It's all about making money and finishing as high as possible to earn the best possible bundle to take home with them. Nowadays, it takes a lot to run a NASCAR team in more ways than what money can buy, for names like Hendrick, Gibbs, Penske, Roush Keselowski. They have the backing of their auto manufacturers and sponsors, not just their raw power and talent, but as well as the resources needed to building the best cars possible to win races. But even the best drivers and teams still have their share of heartbreaks and unforeseen outcomes that hamper their competitive edge. To them, it's a declaration to do better the next race, and hopefully do better next year when the circus comes around again. Until then, the show still has to go on, because sports are like nature. It is its own entity that is not on anyone's side but its own, because it is unpredictable in the outcome of competition, leading humanity's competitive nature to desire the odds to be in their favor when they see fit. Nevertheless, humanity can only predict the best they can to be ahead of the curve in order to gain an advantage within their limitations. As night falls, track conditions change along with the weather. Here, the grid was being tested. And the thing about NASCAR, it's a game of chess. It's a game of poker. Teams can strategize where the best place to gain an advantage at. However, everybody wants to have their cake and eat it too. So the question is, who will get the first piece? Who will be first in line? What will it take for them to get it? One thing is certain, it will have to be decided on a sprint to the finish, whether on long green flag runs or restarts. In whatever case, the NASCAR grid have drivers feeling pretty lucky, while some, with a good car, finding themselves scratching their heads on, where did these guys come from? They were never ahead of me before, so why now? Still, there can only be one winner. And so the checkered flag waved. Thus, the Coke 600 was over. From second place on down, you can bet there are plenty of thoroughbreds that are feeling very hungry for more chances to be in victory lane. For now, they'll just have to get a whiff of victory's scent, because that is all they're going to get until one of them crosses the line first in the next race, to taste victory for themselves and for their team.